Okay, so the parts are laid out here for issue 67. It's interior door parts, plastic mainly, but nicely detailed actually. That's quite a nice kind of detailed effect on the interior of that door. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, and this was nicely wrapped up as well so it wouldn't get damaged, which looks like it's going to be the hinge part. But yeah, not going to be using any of these on this issue at all. It's once again, we're into the engine part. And there's quite a big modification that we're going to talk about as well when I get into it. But yeah, all there, as I say, not damaged, quite nicely packed up. So they're the parts for issue 67, but we're going to get into the build, which is going to be totally different for issue 67 now. Okay, so first thing it's asking me to do is to fit these exhaust pipes, and obviously you have to identify them from issue 65. First one it's asking to fit is the left hand one, so if you just identify that one from the picture, and then it's kind of just feeding it over, kind of goes into a hole on the side of the turbo and then rests on this, obviously the support. So difficult to kind of decide which part you put in first. I'm going to try and put the exhaust pipe in first, I think. There we go. That's the left one in. Kind of bring it in, rest it on there, and then into there. Hopefully mine's going to work. Then the centre one, which is different because it's the one that's hasn't got a pin. So the left and the right both have pins. This one's got a semicircular hole, as you can see. And this is the centre one, and that's going to go onto this end of the turbo somewhere. Just make sure where it's going to fit onto. And finally the right hand one. Might have a struggle with this one because mine's slightly out of sync. Let me have a look. It might actually work. This is the centre ones. Proving very difficult. Okay, I'm going to have to glue that one in. So just get some super glue. Okay, let's see what I've got to do. So I've got to glue this part on, and I've got to glue that part on, I think. Yes, because that's coming out of the... So there's a couple of places I'm going to have to apply some glue. Hoping that's going to hold. That looks good, that looks good, everything looks okay. That's really bad. Hopefully that one there. May have to take that off and take that over the top. There's a cable or whatever you want to call it that's looking very well bent now. And hopefully I can get that released and then hopefully take that across the top. Okay, that was not that easy, to be honest with you. That centre one, I had a real problem with that centre one. Not quite sitting right, but yeah, they look alright. Not too bad. Yeah, not too bad. but not easy to go in, to be honest with you. Okay, so now we're moving on to intercooler. Right, this is where it gets a little bit complicated. So you go get some parts from issue 21, which is the right hand intercooler. Now we've already fitted this. Now I can't remember where it told us to fit this, because if you look at the picture, it hasn't actually got this cable clamp fitted. Now I can't remember where it told me to fit that, but I have. Okay, now you've got to fit one of these cable clamps to the other part, so this part here, and it's just kind of making sure that you've got it the right way around, I guess. So I'm just checking. Seems to have like the Jubilee clip parts on the side facing these three protrusions, so thinking that's going on like that. So if you like, you've got your three protrusions there, the Jubilee clip's kind of facing it. Now it's on quite loose, but I don't think that's a problem too much. It also turns. I'm not too sure if it's meant to turn. I'll try the other one to put two. It still turns. I don't think there's too much of a problem with that. It then tells you to fit it onto the engine. Now, issue 99 says you remove these and then you have to fit like some guides or something. And it looks really tough to remove these once they're onto the engine. So I'm going to fit them now. And they look like these. You've got them in issue 29. They look like that. I can't remember what they're called in 29. I'll have a look what they're called in 29. Sump A and Sump B. So they're called Sump A and Sump B. Now they have got the marked up with the direction, but they're quite difficult to work out how they go on, to be fair. So you have to watch the video tutorial for 99 to find out how they go on, because they go on and they look wrong when they go on. So at like an angle, there's a gap. There's quite a big gap in between them. So I'm just going to check that off and make sure I am fitting them on the right way around before I put them on. Okay, have you watched that a little bit? So if you have it that way round, you need the sump, as it's calling it, in that direction. Now it's going to have a gap there, which looks a bit odd, but that's the way it's shown it in the instructions to do it. Now you haven't got the screws either. I've had a look. You haven't got the EE screws to fit this in. The T screws look like they'll work because they're plastic screws, so they'll probably work on this. I would think your T screws are probably your best bet for taking the place of those EE screws that you haven't got yet. So I'm going to use some T screws. Okay, so as I say, I've used T screws instead of EE screws. I'll put that on. It's on nice and solid anyway, so it's not going anywhere. And there is that gap, but that's kind of how it looks. Now the reason I put this on this is, I say, it looks really tough to put that on, because you have to take it off in 99 and it's really tough. So I'll put it on here and hopefully it won't cause any problems, but obviously I'll keep you updated. And obviously that's going to fit on like that, and now that's going to get fitted to the engine. Now I'm going to do the left hand side one first as well, so I've got it all ready to go. Okay, so the left hand one, okay, once again, so there's the one you've got fitted already, kind of goes on in that direction. Those three there are going off in that way, so if we do that way around, yeah, it kind of goes off on that way, sorry, that way. Okay. And I'm going to use T screws again instead of the EE screws it tells you to use. They do work. They are also plastic screws, I think. They look like plastic screws. Just in that direction there. So now we're going to bring this over. We're going to try and fit these intercoolers into here. Now it looks like it's going to be quite tricky, if I'm honest. Doesn't look easy at all. And of course it's working out. So that's the left hand one. That's the right hand one. First, it looks easier if I put that on first. This is going to go into there. I think we've got these two that are going to kind of sit onto here. It's going to be very, very tricky because you've literally got to thread a lot of different parts in your way. Is absolutely miles out. There's no way on earth you're getting that to fit into there. It is in completely the wrong orientation. 100% that is in. There's no way on earth that's fitting. Okay, so that might be in the wrong orientation. That needs to be about 90 degrees, at least 45 degrees out. Okay, so this was in the wrong kind of orientation, this turbo. I can't remember when it told me to fit it, and whether I put it on wrong, I don't know. I'd have to re-look at my videos, but just be aware. Mine was in the wrong orientation. It needs to be that way, mine was that way. It still needs to, it's nowhere near going to fit. It's miles off. I'm not joking when I say it is at least half an inch out. I mean, that is so far out. I'm not going to get that to fit. I mean, that's as far as I will go down. I ain't going down no further, and it is good. I mean, let me have a look and see if I can show you. Not far off. That is on mine. Yeah, see if I can get some. I mean, that is a long way off. Okay, I did manage to get it to fit, but difficult. So I did manage to get that to fit, as you can see there, but it was not easy at all. I need to make sure that that's all now on. Yeah, things are getting squished everywhere now. But yeah, important, if I'm honest, but not to take. Hopefully they are going to not cause an issue because they do stick out a bit. Those sumps onto those, or you don't want to be taking them off again. Not at all. They were difficult enough to go on that time. Really difficult. But that's the intercoolers on with those sumps fitted. As I say, I think that's quite key. Okay, so that was 67 there. Yeah, not easy at all, that issue. Nice image. No, of a Ferrari, 1995 this time. Racing Ferrari again. So that was 67. Yeah, not easy. 68 is going to be, coming up in 68. Okay, so we've got right door components, but once again, not doing anything to do with the right door. Can be fitting, looks like a brace for the engine. So more work on the engine compartment. Yeah, so more stuff to go onto the engine. But yeah, so 67 will be coming up soon. Keep an eye out for that. So that was my presentation of this issue of Build a Ferrari F40 Competizione by Panini Collections and Centauro magazine. And if you'd like to see progression of this model from where it is now up to completed car, then don't forget to subscribe, and you can click the bell if you'd like to be notified any time that a video goes live on the channel, because I'm building an Ecto one and a Spitfire as well. They're both part builds, so you can check those out as well. But hey, thank you very much for watching. Hope to catch you again on the channel soon. Take care and ta-ra for now.